Let's go. Oh my god. All right. This is good. We're in a new room apparently.
It's changing.
ALeagues.
The vibe's changed.
Make sure my head, it's a ritual. I have to check. Are you good? Can you see yourself in the mirror?
I can't, but it's all right.
Hello. Did you even realize what jacket I was wearing?
I know, it is. I love this. What is it? This is Parramatta Macedonia, right?
No, this is Cabramatta.
Oh, Cabramatta. Dude, I don't know anything about
You know,
New
you were
South Wales.
speaking about how Edinburgh was spelled. Oh my god. Cabramatta. Cabramatta. So Ramatta. Cabramatta.
It's a bit of a geography lesson for those.
Wow, I don't know where. Is that Canberra?
It's in New South Wales.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
sure
he does
it
say New
is.
South Wales.
It's a giant NSW.
Well, this is the jacket that I purchased at the market the other day. Where, I should make that reel.
Yeah.
That reel actually went crazy. Let's talk about this real quickly before I talk about the purchase. But this reel I made about the Germany jersey, it's my highest reel I've ever had. 50,000 views on Instagram.
That's actually incredible, and I think the fact that you chose to buy a Cabramatta Macedonia jersey over this a jacket over this Germany jacket from 1992.
The difference in prices was $140.
Yeah, but it's I'll say Preston. It's a suburban club in Australia versus the German national team. It's Die Mannschaft.
I regret it, but someone said to me, he's like, an item you don't buy today is an item that you will always get tomorrow. So it's like a, who cares, because you'll forget it and you'll get something that you'll like forever.
Well, maybe that means that your horizontal stripe intershirt will appear in the next.
Which one's that? Horizontal interstripe. Oh,
horizontal.
yes.
Yeah. Your 2004, your 97
Geez,
away.
that's another one I'm waiting for.
whatever it is, yeah.
Hello to everyone. Thank you so much for watching today's video. It's a bit of a late upload, so this is recorded on the Friday, uploaded on the Friday, depending if the minions upstairs uploaded in time. But we will try and do a bit of an Optus breach data and make our way into your systems.
Hopefully don't share any of your personal information.
No,
in that
definitely
process.
no sharing of personal
If it is, you can blame
information.
Spotify or YouTube. It's not from us.
No, definitely not from us. But so I'm Alex from Talking Shirt.
And Paul from PFC.
We've never done that. It was pretty cool.
No, I liked it. That was very impromptu.
Hey, look at that. So Tuesday we had a bit of a busy day. The ALeagues launched the season at Ultra. How did you find it?
Wow. It was great to be a part of it. So, it was closed doors. I think there was probably a couple hundred people here.
Couple hundred, yeah. It was pretty good.
And what an event, man. It's so exciting. Like, I know everyone sort of like don't want to mention that taboo period of 2 years that we went through and got stuck in our bedrooms. But, now that we're back out and like events like this are happening, it's so cool. And, I've always been the sort of person I've loved football. I love football, obviously, but I haven't like delved into the A-League much more than sort of been a bit of a bystander. I think I'm almost on the verge of a bit of a Euro snob. And I've made a conscious effort to pay more attention to it over the last couple of years. And I really wanted to get a membership this season and, really commit to a club. And I think being a part of this launch was so cool because it's like, oh my God, there's so much hype around this season. So
Definitely gets you interested in the teams that are walking around.
Oh, man. The teams, the players, like, having chats to guys like Diamanti and... there's so many players there. Like Diamanti for me is just he's an amazing guy. But
he was by far one of the favourites of the day.
You obviously went pretty nuts through socials after that photo shoot here in the studio. I think that went absolutely crazy.
It's like I was watching you run around with all the players, just following around. That video you did with Diamanti, I don't know how you managed to get that upload straight away.
It takes time.
But I was in a room in the studio, and I think just having people like Charlie Austin just walk into the room and then sleep on the couch. Even Craig Noon, I know I've known Nooney from Melbourne City, but having him, Azani, a few of the girls that from the women's league, like it was just so good to see so many come through. But for me, I think like having someone like even Jack Rodwell, Charlie Austin come in. They're just like sitting in the same room as you. On
Jack Rodwell, I feel like he cops a bit because of the whole Sunderland doco and the fact that he was chasing money and stuff. He honestly is a very, very nice guy.
He is. I honestly would say he's one of the nicest blokes I've met in the A-League.
Like, he
was so genuine.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a nobody, in comparison to him. These guys, all these pro players. He remembered me from a shoot. I was at... I think it was last year. I was there for probably half an hour with him.
How many bald guys do you reckon he knows?
I don't know. How many guys look like Brocky do you think he knows? Speaking of Brocky, can I mention this?
Uh-oh.
Diamanti, right?
Yeah.
I think this is why I have a soft spot for him. He teases me. We did a shoot with him once.
What do you mean teases you?
Teases me all day on this launch, right?
Why?
Because we did a doco on the final series last year,
remember,
and we interviewed him, and he looks at me and he's like, "Oh my God, Brocky." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "You look like Brocky." Christian Brocky played Fiorentina, AC Milan. I think he coached Bologna. If you Google, there's actually a great photo. I can show you.
Wait, Christian Brocky.
Google it. It's quite funny.
I think he was saying Brocky as in the driver from Australia.
Like it's a good shout. Right? I think. And
I see it.
Yeah, and so all day he's just looking at me and he just says, "Brocky, Brocky." You guys are mid-team shoot, so there's like 20-something players on that giant backdrop, and Diamante's just sitting there like bored, looking around, and he looks at me and goes, "Hey, Brocky." And so I had a relative that was also at the event that was working, and he just looks at me, and he's got an Italian background as well, and he's just like mind blown that out of 100 people in this room, Diamante's just singled me out and just started teasing me in front of everyone. Oh man, the guy's the best.
That's
Absolutely.
good. Like this guy's played at Watford, he's played at West Ham, Fiorentina, Atalanta. He's gone over to Asia, now he's in Australia. Like this guy's crazy. Had a great career. Out of all Italians, I think he's by far one of my favourites. I think that I've met. Yeah. Like even Del Piero being in Australia. He did amazing for football, but I think Diamante, culture-wise, has brought something to the game.
100%. Like, there's no like fault on his part in getting involved on a personal level.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to be the player that has an influence on the league, like Del Piero. I say easy. Obviously his bag's a skill. But I think Diamante definitely is the guy that will do the meet and greets and go to the fan days, the family days, all that sort of stuff. And it's so good to get that. Have a bit of rapport with someone, 100%. Even if it's for 5 minutes.
100%. The whole event was great, and thank you to Ultra and of course the A-Leagues for having such a great impact on the launch of the season. Football is here. This is the home of football here. It's such a great event to see even Ultra hosting it. So a massive shout out to the team upstairs for putting everything together. But I think the A-Leagues as well were just blown away, the support that, I think the one thing I need to spot out as well. So a certain football influencer who's moved over to Australia, had this post and he's saying that someone came up to him and said that he didn't know that A-League existed in Australia or a professional league existed in Australia. And my comment to this person was, bullshit, that's like Australians not knowing what a drop bear is. It's like, if you're telling me you live in Australia and you do not know what a professional league was, if there was no existence of a professional league in Australia, that's just a big load of bullshit.
Yeah, it is a load of bullshit. I thought you were about to say if you live in Australia and you don't know what the drop bear is.
Yeah, it's a myth. But I'm saying if you're Australian and someone says to you, "Do you know what a drop bear is?" and no, what's a drop bear? It's like, have you not understand? Do you not understand Australian culture? What a drop bear?
I feel like we try and create these episodes around what the reel is going to be. Like what we can post on socials. And I think we've just stumbled into it. We're going to be questioning what a drop bear is instead of talking about football.
But this person was saying to this other person that they don't know. They didn't know there was a professional football league in Australia. And it's like, no, that's a lot of crock.
I feel like there's going to be a professional league. How good the standard is doesn't matter in every country.
I'm calling it now. That last season was a great season. A-League loved every second of it. I think it was by far the most competitive. Seeing City, Western, Victory, all these teams push for the top.
Yeah.
Even now, it's sad to see Gary Cole go over. As of yesterday, announced that he's signed to Newcastle, but I think he's staying here till January. So maybe he gets to play half a season.
Well, so I had actually put him in my fantasy team, and it automatically was removed.
Wow.
So I don't know if they jumped the gun, maybe, but
maybe.
Yeah. So that's something.
Well, Fabrizio Romano used my photo.
I saw that. That's
amazing.
Cool. That's very cool.
So life achieved. I'm happy with that.
So you've got a here we go. Maybe you should frame that. That's kind of cool.
I should message him and be like, "Hey, where's my photo credit, mate?"
Yeah, I know.
See if he puts me on the podcast.
Can you imagine how many people we would have to photo credit?
Oh man, it's insane. But big season for the A-League. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Next Friday, right? Is the start 7th of October?
Yeah, on City versus Western on Friday, and I think Victory plays on the Saturday, and then our pop-up is on Sunday. Shout out.
Yeah.
We got to launch it. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God. If all
next
things go
Monday's
to
episode, yeah.
But if all things go to plan, this pop-up is going to be absolutely nuts.
Oh, fingers crossed. It's a classic Alex and Paul pop-up where it's last minute.
Yeah. It is very, but we could pull some good shit together in a very short period of time.
Oh.
I might give those guys a bit of a plug because we've got False Nine Threads coming and Cult Hero FC. They both going to have their own stalls, but there's going to be something massive in addition to this fingers crossed. To be honest, I say one thing. There's actually probably like 4 things when you think about it. So there's some really, really good things to get there. So make sure you come down because it's going to be a sick event. I think we're doing the same thing, same kind of timing and stuff like as we normally do.
Keep it simple. Everyone come in the morning.
Yeah, so it's going to be a morning thing. But yeah, so we're aiming for maybe some special guests and a few other fun things.
Again, overall, great event on Tuesday. Hopefully, there's another party for the women's event coming up because the season starts a bit later.
Yep.
Anything you want to shout out about the event? The photo shoot I had a lot of fun. The videos you created was amazing.
It was fun. Like the on-pitch
was down here.
Yeah, it was good to see Billy again from F2. That was great. I think he's still floating around Australia for now, which is cool. I think he might even be up in Sydney or something.
Some of the techers he did hitting the bar and everything. Man. Even the Zani and jumping in.
Yeah, well, we're seeing Zani, Charlie Austin, even Nani. Man, one thing, like, I know it's Billy's job to be this, freestyle footballer, but it's so cool to watch him. Like, it's actually deceiving how good he really is. Like,
oh, man.
I think from, if you think about, it probably took him like 400 goes to hit that. And you just watch him, he just lays on the floor and hits a crossbar challenge off the ground. Like, this guy is serious. Does he 2 or 3 shots? Like,
I was on his socials and I was watching him with Del Piero and I was watching him with Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
And the Arteta backflip that he does.
Yeah.
Arteta was like, what is this guy? Who is this guy? I still think Billy could make a professional, like, still now, even though he doesn't want to because of injuries and everything that he's had over time.
You got to remember, I think he's either late 30s, early 40s too.
Yeah, but I'm saying...
He looks good, man. He looks so good for his age.
So I watched this video of him training at Juventus, the facilities, and it's just insane to think, like, this guy is such a physical, like... He's just superhuman for me.
Oh, man.
His physique.
Yeah. But you think about, like, being able to sustain playing football for a long period of time. And he's had his own fair share of injuries too.
Yeah.
To be able to do what he does, like, it's all fine and good to be playing football. This guy's repeating the same movement over and over again.
Yep.
And he's like, man, this is tough. That's going to be physically taxing.
Man, I get off my chair and back on my chair and my whole body hurts.
Hey, but what a gig.
I got a 10K run this week and I'm not ready for that. I was meant to do half mara, but I haven't run in 2 weeks.
Oh, hey, it's still good. It's the Melbourne Mara, right?
All right, so what was the next topic we wanted to get into? So ALeagues launches next week, really exciting. ALeague launched here the other day, really sick.
Yeah, a bit of a prediction for the A-League. So we're going to say, who do you think is going to finish first? Who do you think is, I say first. We probably should have looked at this. What would we say? It was Premiers and...
let's just say who's going to win the league, so the whole season.
I think City might go again.
Yeah, I'm happy with City.
I feel like they're going to be a bit, and I think they're going to be a bit salty after last season's
I'm definitely
final
salty.
series.
There's no one I hate more than Western United.
Yeah, but then again, they might come back thinking, you know what, we want the league.
But when you look at the teams and who's brought on better players,
Mariners look like probably a good underdog, I think.
But I'm saying between City and Western.
Oh, between City and Western? I think Western hasn't changed dramatically at all, if anything.
How many times can a team like that win? It's like asking Leicester City win the season after they won it. No chance.
Look, I'd be interested to see. I feel like they've still got a lot of big players. Dia barely played last year too.
Dia barely played.
That's what I'm saying, and now he's back.
I know, but like, how much of a difference can he make? The biggest difference for them in the final series was Prijovic.
Oh, completely, yeah. Prijovic was amazing. But that's
even
because...
Lachie Wales, even Ben Caruccio, it was literally... And sorry to say this, but Jamie Young is a great keeper.
He's a great keeper, yeah.
That team that they have, Leo Acquire, they've got a great squad.
Yeah.
But I just don't think they can do it 2 years in a row.
I'd be very interested to see, because it seemed like everything worked out well in terms of timing and, them coming together. Actually, they started the season on fire last year. They were top. I remember seeing a team of the month or whatever it was, and it was like... I think it was 6 or 7 players out of the starting 11 were all Western United. So they'd have a dip and then they fired back up.
I still reckon it's a Leicester City sort of situation where it's like you take a few players and that's it. It's finished.
I don't think it's not a 500 to 1.
Kante was like Mahrez, Vardy, and that's it. That's the squad that was like basically gelling everyone together. Of course, you had Morgan.
Yeah.
And maybe you had Fuchs, and you had a pretty good team.
They have a good squad.
It was a group of misfits.
Essentially. But I think it's...
Christian Fuchs. I don't want to say his name because
be careful.
Christian Fuchs, who's playing in MLS now.
Yeah,
still. You had a few others like Morgan, just random guys, and they won the league. Schmeichel again. You look at the Western team.
I don't know. I think it's balanced, right? Like, it needs to work for you. Like, you throw in guys like Okazaki, like, on his day is a world beater.
Wow, what a guy.
Yeah, cool player, like, really good. Like, output is exceptional. He's no... I don't know. Who would you compare him to? Like another striker in the Premier League?
Drinkwater. I forgot.
Yeah, Drinkwater. But Drinkwater then was good too. He got outcasted at Chelsea. It is what it is. Okay, so back to... City
win the league?
I think City win the league, yeah.
I reckon finals, it'll be between City and Victory. Victory's got a good team too.
Yeah, they're actually probably a bit of an underdog too, because they were sort of like a bit of a quiet achiever at the start of the season and then came home hard.
I can't believe they have Tommy Urich up front too.
Yeah, that'd be
I've not
interesting.
heard about him in a while, so
you threw Tommy Uric and obviously Nani as well, which
Daggers,
is a massive
they're
signing.
very good. Jake Brummer.
This is the problem, and I feel like City had a very similar problem when they had Kolakovsky, Tilio, Lecky, McLaren, and Naboo. That's 5 players in a front third that you probably can only fit 3 on a good day, maybe 4 if someone slots in at a 10. You look at Victory now, maybe are they overstacked? Yeah. Look, I know you need depth, right? But how can you need to keep those players playing?
Yeah, tough one. But I still reckon Victory will definitely challenge for that. Yeah. Most improved squad of the season?
I think Mariners for me. Yeah. Especially if Qual hangs around. I think, the Cum Dog's looks like he's starting to peak a bit too, which is
that
good
new
timing.
guy that I met yesterday, Kalichi, he looks good. He looks like a fun bloke. So.
Where did he come from? I saw the club. It was like 3 letters. I think it was PAS or something. I forgot to Google it, but I reckon he'll be an interesting player as well. Good.
Jason Cummings definitely back on the Cum Dog. He's looking good.
Yeah.
Such a good bloke too.
Yeah, he was a good dude.
Oh my god, he recognised me too though. Actually, from the Socceroos stuff a few days before. Cool. He looked at me. He goes, "Oh, you're dressed up better today." I'm like, "What does that mean?"
He obviously didn't like your kit.
Bro, to be honest, I didn't. So I went to the Socceroos camp last week, and amazing opportunity. I worked my ass off to get there, and I get told the day before, it's like, Alex, you'll be doing initiation tonight. I'm like, what do you mean by initiation? Like, you're going to have to sing a song in front of everyone.
What?
So I had this song already. I was like this Mastercraft. I don't know if you remember Mastercraft. It was spelled MSTRKFT. Yeah. It had a song with John Legend. It was called Heartbreaker. Yeah. And I loved this song as a teenager. I used to sing it while driving home. Like, it was just like easy words. Anyways, I spoke to Harrison Delbridge, who congrats on making his debut for the Socceroos. He goes to me, bro, you need to sing a song that everyone knows. Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, you need to sing along. I'm like...
Yeah, it kills the awkwardness.
Looking at now, I was like, there's so many songs I could sing. There's so many songs I could sing. So many, anything. Some guy sang Stacey's mum. Yeah. So he literally said Stacey's mum for like 20 minutes and then had like 3 choruses. And everyone loved it to the point where they clapped him. Me, I'm like, I rang my wife up the night before. I'm like, babe, what do I sing? She goes, sing the Friends song, the theme song.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I was like, oh, yeah, it's actually good to get people to clap. Anyway,
but that's a bit like, if you can't sing, that's
Bro, I can't sing it.
That's one of those songs where you're going to sound like shit.
I need a song that I can't sing. Anyway, so no one was going up, so I said, stuff it. All right, hey, everyone, I'm Alex. I'm the photographer. I'm going to take some photos. I'm warning you now. Mind you, Graham Arnold, Gus Hiddink, Tony Vidmar, James Johnson from the FA's there. Yeah.
Plus you throw in the whole current squad.
The whole squad. Like, Trent Sainsbury's looking at me, like, deaf staring at me, because we had a chat before. I'm like, bro, I'm going to fail so bad. Mitch Langrak, like, Lecky, all these big dogs, McLaren, looking at me, and I'm like, everyone... Friends theme song, clap when I sing.
Please.
No one claps.
You should never ended it. You shouldn't have started it with that.
No one clapped.
You're just defeated. You're a defeated man.
You know the worst part is now when certain songs go on TV, it just hits me back.
Oh, now it's bad memories. Yeah.
And you're the only person that clapped. And thank you to Harrison Delbridge. He's the only one that clapped. But then he comes up to me after the thing. He goes, bro, you sucked.
Oh, that is so hard.
And there's a recording of me, so I'm not going to show that ever again.
I need to find this recording. I think that's going to be a reel for sure. Man, hey, you know what? It's actually really cool that it's that much of an inclusive environment, though. Like, because I know, like, playing for other clubs, when they do initiation, it's sort of like just the playing group do it, and that's it. Yeah. But that's awesome that they get the staff involved too.
That was embarrassing.
So cool.
Let's talk about
relegated. Sorry, relegated. We don't have relegation in our league.
Oh, relegation. Friends.
Anyway, who's finishing at the bottom?
It's a tough one, actually. You know what? I just realised Perth's squad too.
Yeah, they're on the rebuilds.
Brisbane Roar.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I can't think of anyone else.
Charlie Austin's amazing. Oh, no, then.
This is the thing, right? Like, who? I think Jets are too good.
Gold Coast United.
Well, yeah. North Queensland Fury.
Jesus.
Phoenix are too good. There's a lot of, I think this season of the A-League is going to be, I think the standard's going to be pretty good.
Oh, wow. McCarver's in the finals tomorrow.
There's a lot to like about this season. It's actually quite hard to pick someone.
That's really true.
Yeah.
Ooh, anyway, tough one. Let us know in the comments below.
So we've got, I think, 2 sections left. Mm-hmm. Which one do you want to jump to Instagram and then finish with our player versus player?
Do you want to do fantasy quickly?
Oh, yeah, we can do fantasy. Yeah.
So just to shout out to everyone, it's been a bit last minute for us to do all this, but we're going to try and form a fantasy A-League podcast. Maybe after we record on Mondays, we'll try and make a little episode, maybe like a 10-minute refresher.
Yeah, cool.
Just for people to listen. Do you have your squad on you?
Yeah.
I've got screen grabs from that group chat with Gaza. So with the fantasy this season, it's a new concept for the A-League. It's pretty good. It's exciting. I love the Premier League one, so it's just good to see that with Aussies that you can put into your squad. Now, we won't tell everyone our squads. We'll maybe choose 3 players and just say
don't
why.
copy us. Yeah.
I know, choose your own team. But so from next week, once the season starts, we're going to have an episode per week.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a 10-minute episode, either Paul and I together or Paul and I separately with someone else.
Yep.
Hopefully getting guest stars to talk about their performances and their scores. But Paul, you go first and let us know.
Yeah, cool. So I think I'll give a bit of like cheat code kind of hacks to your team, right? So I've gone with Steph Kolikovsky in the midfield because one, I think he's probably more of a forward than a midfielder.
Yeah.
And he's only 165k. So he's played a lot of games since he signed for Perth, and I feel like he's going to be a big part of their squad. So I think for 165k, in comparison to like, say, someone like Piscopo, who's 260k, there's a big difference in price. I think Piscopo is obviously going to score well as well, but I think Collar's a good bargain.
That's good.
I went with a sentimental pick with Dia.
Yeah.
I think I got a bit of a crush on him at the moment. And then my other one, I think we mentioned it before with Prijovic. I think Prijovic had a great season last year, and I think he's going to back it up. I think if Dia stays fit, I think him and Prijovic are going to link up pretty well.
Yep.
What do you got?
Is that just 2 you want to do?
That's my 3.
Probably,
Yeah, that's my 3.
You did 3, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just say the names out and then I'll explain. So I've chosen Valon Berisha. I just think as a squad player or as an impact, he'll definitely bring some points to your squad. The guy has played all over Europe and has a really strong mentality, so I really see him to be dominating in the league. So that's a good pick for you. On the bench, which I think I'll add him to starting 11 a few games, is the Mariners defender Hall. He played really amazing last year. I really enjoyed watching him. He's a young
Centre
kid.
back, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
I got him in there. And then, of course, another player that I've picked, I think, for points purposes, and as my captain is McLaren. This guy's going to make a 4 out of 4. I think he's just going to get another golden boot.
How much is McLaren? What's his price tag?
He's 365. He's probably one of the more pricier players,
Yeah.
but if you need one big dog, definitely get Macca. He's going to be scoring goals.
One that flew under the radar a bit for me, and I think he was he was obviously an amazing keeper. Is Danny Vukovic.
Oh yeah.
I felt like he was quite underpriced. I don't know if he's going to play, but you would assume so.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I have Izzo in goals. I'm telling you the whole squad. I got to be careful. But I was going to say, something else I was going to say. I just forgot. But that's it. I think, look, if you're making a squad, I know what I was going to say. If you're making a squad, let us know in the comments below what your club name is. It has to be A-League name. Now, I thought of this as you were speaking. So, my squad name is My Bill Brings the Boys to the Yard.
Oh, that's not too bad. Well, I've obviously gone with something a bit more on brand for me. So I've gone with PFC.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. My usual one is just Pfizer Chiefs, so that's pretty good.
That's good. Yeah, you've mentioned that one before. Actually, let us know if you're doing A-League Fantasy. Let us know what your team name is in the comments because I want to know.
Yeah, it's actually good. So yeah, every week we're going to have a little bit of an episode and bring up more detailed topics than just telling you our team. But make sure to let us know your teams.
What's the best fantasy team name you've ever come across?
Name?
Yeah.
Just too many.
Think of one off the top of your head.
Oh, I can't. I have to go into my...
Can I tell you my favourite?
Go.
Puyol Pants Down.
Yeah.
That is by far my favourite.
That's a classic FIFA Ultimate Team name that you get.
It is. There's a few good ones out there, but that is just by far my favourite.
Yeah, no,
I think I used that for a futsal team for a while.
Yeah, football people are pretty switched on for that.
That's great.
What was the next topic?
So we'll jump to Instagram now.
Okay, good.
We shot out obviously a few messages, not a few messages. We shot out to Instagram to see what the people want to talk about, and we actually got a lot of replies. So we got actually one from Mickey Leaks, Mickey Hodgson upstairs. He's gone best male or female model from Tuesday, or one of each.
Say it again.
Best male and female model from Tuesday.
The Victory Girl. What's her name?
Morrison.
Morrison. I think she had an American accent.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
she had a great personality. I can't.
She great footballer. So she definitely was by far the actually Flannery, Michelle Heyman.
Michelle Heyman's actually really nice. Yeah, she was lovely.
Yeah, she's definitely a Matilda that I'd like to see back in the green and gold next year.
Yeah, and then male model.
Who loved it the most? Who was like giving me too much energy? Jason Cummins was tired, so I'm not gonna say him. I reckon the best male performer on the day, male footballer on the day would be. I'm trying to think of the road. The guy from Wellington Phoenix was pretty good for me. Can't remember his name. He was a funny guy.
He was cool, yeah. I was chatting to him while he was putting on the McDonald's socks, and we were just laughing. Like I think they were like hamburger inspired designs, and we were just like laughing about the fact that they should have been like toe socks because the way they looked. But it was anyway, bit of a laugh. I'll go on to the next question. It's from RSB Kit Room.
The Red Star Belgrade.
Belgrade, yeah. So throwback designs. So modern kit with a retro inspiration. Do you have an issue with it being from another manufacturer outside of the original?
100%. You answer this first.
Yeah, I'm like, I hate this. So at the moment, I think Umbro have just gone and dropped. Excuse me, Umbro have just gone and dropped an England retro inspired range. They're not the national team manufacturer, and they've literally just reproduced their old kit.
Yeah.
Piss off. Like, go away. Just get the national team gig first, then do this. You know, I think it's a hard one because, like we saw with Puma copied Drake Ramberg's design for Dortmund, right?
You took my comment.
Sorry, yeah, I know. I love when the OGs do what the OGs do best. I think Nike do it really well. They've played a bit of homage to their Total 90 stuff this year. I don't think the designs are great, but I like the fact that they're doing it.
Yeah.
And it's translating well in their team wear. I'm trying to think, like, outside of that Puma example, like there's the Spew kit that the FA released recently, but then Nike have gone and kind of put a bit of a Spew kit inspiration through the home kit this year.
Kango doesn't exist that much.
Yeah, correct. And that's probably okay for me. I guess, like, if you're England now, right, like their away kit is very similar to a kit from the 90s. Mm-hmm. I think I love that kit, and I love it purely because it does pay a bit of respect, or does throw a bit of a throwback. So I guess in that sense, if it looks good, maybe it's not a problem.
I think the biggest problem with reproducing an iconic design really depends on the club. So, for example, if you've got the PSG as an example, the Hector design, it's always going to be the same, whether or less it's Nike, Adidas, or things, because that's the iconic design. If you've got the stripes of Juventus, you're going to have manufacturers that try to represent it in a more modern approach. That's what Adidas has been doing with the brushstrokes, the geometric hexagon designs. I think the biggest issue with me is when it's a money sort of laundering way, when the money scheme, where it's like you see Adidas and United bring back the... what's that called? I should have thought about it in my head. The blue and white one from 91 to 93.
Oh, the Snowflake.
The Snowflake.
Yep.
There's another word for it. It's another word. But like the Snowflake design, they brought it back in 2018 with the black version when Mata was playing. Mata was playing there.
Yep.
It looked amazing. But I think the biggest issue for me is when people like Dortmund at the moment, Puma, copy the Drake Ramberg, and even the Nike design at Arsenal when they've got now Adidas with the zigzag. It's just those designs for me, I think, are a bit too far, but that's the club, that's their identity. So I think in the end, that's fine. But it's when non-manufacturers, like you say, the ones that aren't with the club at the time, they're just trying to make a money sort of grab to try and pull on the nostalgic thing. So like Umbro doing a whole range of jerseys, like they did a Brazil one I saw. Yeah. But it's like they've never been, they have, but like it's like that design.
Yeah. Well, I guess you kind of hit on it a little bit, right? So with Manchester and Arsenal, it's probably really good. Man United and Arsenal, that's a great example because Adidas, when they released the Snowflake kit recently, Adidas was the manufacturer back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Whereas Adidas doing a Lightning kit for Arsenal, Nike was the sponsor. Yeah.
But I'm saying like with the Snowflake,
the external.
It's like I don't like it when it's like just literally a way to make money.
Yeah, it's just a brand.
But they made the training jerseys for both Arsenal and United. The Jamaican inspired one for them, and then United's got the red and black and white one. It's like they're just still trying to do that. But in the end, I think it's up to you as a kit collector and buying it.
I was reading about NRA, or I think it's Nicola Rakuja. I don't know. Excuse me if I mispronounced that, but they used to sponsor Napoli when Maradona was there. The Mars kit, if a lot of people might remember. And I think they sponsored Fiorentina when Roberto Baggio was there. There's a lot of like amazing kits. They came out and did a re-release, and they literally just made the exact same shirt that they made back in whenever, depending on what year it was. And they wanted to charge 200. I think it was 200 euros.
Yeah, see that stuff that does my head in when they make like I think it was similar to what happened with what's the one that Chris Carcella loves? What's that brand?
Oh yeah, sorry Chris, I blanked.
No. Like I love those jerseys, Pata.
Yeah.
Like I love Pata, amazing brand, but like those Inter Milan and always inspired. Yeah. I just feel like it's like just buy the original.
But then you like Pepperoni Sol.
Yeah, Pepperoni does their own designs.
But it is a spin-off of the kit.
But it's hard. Yeah. Then my designs too. Anyways, next topic.
Next topic. Okay. How did you guys both meet?
Oh, man.
Okay, maybe we can skip that one. We can?
It's
not football.
Answer in 2 seconds. How we Paul and I met. Okay, so we basically met at uni. We had an assignment. We spoke. Realized we were football friends, and then we were like making fun of football. I think Thomas Rosicki.
Yeah, we did nothing for 2 years at school and just played fantasy football and had Rosicki in every
that
squad.
came up and I'll never forget this photographer's name because that was the one we did a study on. Ouija. Check his workout.
Yeah, it's cool.
Or not.
Okay, so this is actually insane. There's like 30 different messages here from everyone trying to get involved in this.
I think we're going to have to skip the last bit.
Okay, this one's good. From Bootatelli. Cheeky boot talk. What is your favourite boot ever and why?
F50.
Which one?
The one Dribble Cisse wore.
Yeah, cool. The tune-up packs. That was sick.
The white, blue, and the black ones.
Do you remember they used to come where you could have like the custom sole, custom stud?
Yeah,
so
I bought the
good.
3-pack. My parents dropped $580 back then.
You know, this is...
Let's stop recording. I got to make sure. Continue. Keep talking.
No, I was like, jump back in and I'll start again.
And this one stopped recording too. It's 30 minutes, I think.
That's all right.
Yeah.
This is going to burn you a bit. You know, like every manufacturer has their outlet store, right?
Yeah.
Adidas back in the day. So I still live 10 minutes from the Adidas outlet now. But back in the day, they used to open up the warehouse and there was just boxes of crap everywhere and it was chaos. $30 for a pair of boots, $30 for a full F-Tune-It pack. So good. Didn't like the boots at the time, so I didn't buy them. So I went and bought a pair of Preds, so that was still kind of cool.
I still have mine. I still have my 3 pairs of boots. By far the best boots. What were your favorite boots?
I've always worn Nikes, but
I'm a Nike boy, but they was just my favorite design.
I think I say I've always worn Nikes. I've mostly worn Nikes, but I think the best pair of boots I wore were Diodora Brazils, yellow sole. That like Bajor vibe was sick. Man. I remember I bought those. I think I was under 15s or under 16s, and honestly, I don't think I did anything but try and chip goalkeepers with those. It was just like I just wanted to do anything that Bajor was good at. That for me, they were iconic.
Shout out to Lotto boots as well.
The zero gravities, do you remember those?
I was speaking to Macca and Jackson Irvine over at the airport. And also shout out to the boys who buy me a beer. Thank you so much. But I said to them, hey, do you guys remember that Lotto store? And they lost it.
Which Lotto store?
Do you remember the Lotto store in Clifton Hill?
So I'm from the southeast, no.
You never went to the Lotto store?
No.
So I said it. I'm like, do you guys remember the Lotto store? They're like, yes, on the corner next to Clifton Hill Station. And they're like, yeah. I said to because I was trying to explain to Jackson where where Ultra is.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, we used to go there and buy all the jerseys. And I'm like, that is crazy because
that is
like
so cool.
Everyone in Melbourne from the northern suburbs anyway used to go to this one shop and buy all their Diodoras, Lottos. It was like this warehouse of just pure Italian or just European manufacturers.
That's actually so funny. I love that there's like I feel like there's such a separation between like our generation of football fans because everyone from the southeast only used to go to like World of Soccer, and then everyone on this side used to go to Pasco.
Yeah. So shout out to Gabs Raponi as well.
Yeah. Obviously now it's very different. You know, I think both those stores are now done, and obviously the Ultras are smack bang in the middle and kind of ruling the roost. But yeah, still funny like talking to people and like, no, I've never heard of that. But then I think the first time I heard of Pasco Sports probably like not even 5 years ago. So
really,
yeah, nuts. Okay, so next one is actually a really good question. How do you feel about non-football fans repping jerseys? It says repping / collecting. I don't think many non-football fans collect jerseys. I feel like a lot of them just wear them to festivals and that's about it.
I think it's fine. Like you see people on Pinterest and all these fashion blogs. Like there's this photo of, I think it was a Japanese fashion sort of icon and he's wearing, or even just like really good modeling looking person in Japan wearing, I think it was an Irish national team jersey. Yeah. Looks amazing.
Yeah, cool.
Does he like football? It doesn't bother me. Yeah. He makes it look good. Does he enjoy the jersey? That's fine. So in the end, I think if people collect or buy jerseys, it's totally their fine. It's up to them.
Yeah, it's personal preference, right? I think why would someone go and wear a Ralph Lauren t-shirt, right?
It's like me rocking up to the AFL and wearing a Richmond jersey. I don't give two shits about the AFL, but if I'm going to go to the game, I'm going to try choose a side because it's in my nature to be selective of one team I need to support. Yeah. So if I rep the yellow, that's the thing. Yeah. If this guy chooses green, it's his choice.
Yeah. One last question before we finish up on two more. Okay, all right. So we've got I'll make Rick from Rick FSC.
Oi.
What's your favorite football shirt tech?
Oh, I know you wanted to ask me this one. Look, I think over time there's so many to choose from, but I think my favorite is the modern dry fit Advance, even last year's dry fit version. I think Nike's just done a great job. I do love what they did with the elastic on the side, the zigzag.
Yeah.
But they removed that, and I think overall dry fit just makes the shirt a lot more better.
Yeah.
The technology and the little detailing just makes it feel a lot more snug. But I think one thing people need to look out for when they buy shirts and manufacturers different is the stitching.
Yep.
So if you're buying a Yakult or if you own anything from Yakult, look at how horrible the stitching is, and then think twice before spending all that money.
I'm going to throw back a little bit further because, obviously I wear a lot of old school kits, and a lot of people ask me, how's the fit on this? What's it like? Does it fit small? Does it run short? Because, back in the 90s, things were cut so weirdly and everything was a box. And then when you go back to the early 90s and everything was 4 extra small.
Or thick as material.
Yeah. It's like a rug. My favorite kit to wear, and you have to go player spec because you get the dual layer, is like the 03, 04 Total 90 stuff. There's 2 versions of this from what I understand. There's like a summer and a winter. There's a really good video from the World Cup final in, I think it's World Cup final in 2000. It might even be 2002 actually. Someone from Brazil comes on. I can't remember the player's name, but he tries to put the shirt on, and it's quite tricky to put on because of the dual layer. But he gets it stuck over his head, and it's
check it out.
It's actually really funny. It's worse than Balotelli, right? Trying to put the bib on. But this era has that winter version. So I have this long sleeve PSG Thompson kit that Ronaldinho and it has this this beautiful underlay, right? There's that dual layer, and to wear in winter. Honestly, you could walk outside in sub 8 degrees and you're warm in this thing. Like, oh my God. It is beautiful to wear. So if anyone can find that dual layer, I think I've only got one, and I've only ever come across the one. It is so nice.
Yeah, definitely. Last one?
Last one. Oh, there's a lot here. Neil Simons, actually. How did you and Ultra come up with the shoot idea for the launch?
That was all Ultra.
All Ultra. Maddie. Yeah. I think that was Maddie's mostly.
Yeah, Maddie's idea. So shout out to Maddie. I think when it comes to having the setup is one thing, but as a photographer, you got to try and find a way to photograph it.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like Getty had Rob here, and Rob's an amazing photographer, but he had no filling light, he had no flash, so he was using whatever natural light there was. Checked his photos out and Getty, amazing, but he's pumped the ISO up for himself to get good colors. And you look at my ones with the depth of color and everything. End of the day, you can have a scenario it's the white wall theory that I was telling you about, where it's like you can have a subject and a background, and it's totally up to the person to make the photo, as in the person in front of the camera. So whether it was me or you in front of the camera, it wouldn't be as nice.
Yeah, you throw Nani all of a
throw
sudden.
Nani or Cummings or anything like that, you got an amazing photo. I think at the end of the day, it's just this room. I don't know if you've seen the behind the scenes. It's literally a messy little room, and you got this blue backdrop. With a few frames and a nice couch. And that's it.
It's quite simple, right? It is cool.
Simplicity is at its best.
Yeah. And look, good lighting, I think, that's going to sound very cliche.
One little light, for me, that's what I needed. I didn't need too many things happening.
One little light. It's like a 180 centimeter octobox. Yeah, sure. And this is us getting a bit too photo techy.
I don't know if you people watch a lot of movies, but Taika Waititi, one of my favorite directors, he has this thing that's going around where apparently he goes on set and someone asked him, do you know what you're doing? Like, what's going on today? And he said, literally, he's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. That's me every day. I just put a big light and people think I'm doing my job.
My wife hates my favourite phrase, and it's just wing it. We'll drive somewhere, how you get there? No, we'll work it out.
Literally, we just wing it. Every day is a winging life. Anything else?
There's a lot here, man. There's a lot about Billy Wingrove. Could you pick a young breakout star from the A-League this season? I have one.
Who?
I don't know his first name because I always joke about it. Onesti from... I called him Christos once.
I told the guys that name and they loved it.
What's his first name?
What's his name? I just said it. I just said his name.
You called him Christos. His name's not Christos. Christos Onesti was the joke.
Max? No, that's Max. I literally just said his name on my head then. One player I'm going to say is the Adelaide player, Irakunda.
Oh, yeah, good player.
Yeah, he scored 3 goals in practice games the other day against Victoria and City for the under-17, so definitely a player to check out.
I got to try and find this if he's at Melbourne City.
You know what? Actually, I just thought about it. The Toure brothers. I know one's in France, one's playing at MacArthur. But there's so much hype about him. I hope the Australian media doesn't forget about him.
I think it was the Oakley Cannons semi-final MacArthur played that he was really good.
Yeah.
I think he's the fullback, right?
No, when they played at
They plays at MacArthur.
I think they're all strikers. They're all forwards.
Oh, who am I thinking of? One of the MacArthur fullbacks was incredible against Oakley.
But like that's the thing. I just hope the media doesn't forget about. I know the Qual brothers are doing well now.
Yeah.
I just hope the Tourés don't get forgotten.
Yeah. I think so.
I still can't believe what's his name went over to the Golfs. Elvis Kamsoba.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. First season without him.
Big shake-up, yeah.
That's different. But yeah, shout out to Irukunda. I think he's going to be a star.
That was a good episode today, man. I think we've got the pop-up coming, so for anyone that's around, yes, October 9th, check it out.
I'm excited for the A-League. It's going to be a good season. There's so much football going on. I think when it comes to Australian football, you definitely have to be excited. If you're someone that says you're not excited for Australian football or just the A-League in general, you're literally the reason why this game doesn't go as far as it can in Australia.
Yeah.
I think as an Australian, you need to get behind the clubs and the teams behind it. Stop complaining about everything. If you want to support the NPL, go support the NPL. If you want to support the A-League, go support the A-League.
Yeah.
End of the day, there's no debate about it. Don't complain about local football and then watch European football. You can watch both and still be a fan of both.
100%. I think you just need to expect that it's different. It's not going to be the same.
Elitism for Premier League and it just does my head in. It's there's football, it's the world game, different types. You can't have the same lasagna. If Norma makes the same lasagna as your mum, then that's the same person. Like, seriously, just enjoy the different lasagnas.
Some people just eat the packet.
But enough about that. Paul's got to go to work. I've got Melbourne City training game today. Pop up next week.
Yes.
Big one.
It's going to be huge. Oh, next week?
Next week.
Yeah, it is 9 days away.
We're going to have an episode on Monday as well, so double upload. Sorry to Costa for taking up your upload dates. But yeah.
Nice. Thanks, guys.
Stay safe. Stay away from stupid people.
See you later.
I didn't say something. Wait. Melbourne Heart, yeah.
Oh, Reebok. I like that.
Yeah,
Very
I'm
nice.
going to take this off. For the listeners on Spotify, Paul, what are you wearing quickly?
Boca Juniors home shirt from 2002 or 3, something like that.
Pretty sure I'm wearing 2015. 2015, yeah, I think so. Anyways, I'm wearing the Reebok Heart kit, beautiful kit, and Cabramatta jacket.
What year did you get married?
2017.
Yeah, it was 2015 then.
Yeah.
I remember shooting Harry Kuehl in the Kappa shirt, and that was the year after that, I think.
No, we were City then, so maybe it was 2014, 2013. I can't remember. It's been that many. I got that many Heart jerseys. Anyways, see you later. Bye. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.